It's not in the pretty things we see the greatest revelations. An oyster or a clam. A clam's an ugly creature, or an oyster, either one. They're not beautiful. And when sand gets in their when sand gets in their shell, they'll begin to make a milky substance around it. And the more they keep working this for years and years, or however long it takes with that irritant, it becomes a pearl. As ugly as something is on the outside, look not, judge. We're not to judge after the outward appearance of man. People don't see. You may look on the outside and see something ugly or horrible. May not be nothing of much beauty to you, but what God's doing on the inside, that's what's important. It's becoming a pearl on the inside. It's kind of like a caterpillar. A caterpillar is not a beautiful thing, but inside is the potential to be a beautiful butterfly. Same way for a pearl. When the Bible said that He found a pearl of great price, He told that parable. That pearl of great price is what's in you and I. He saw something inside of humanity that He could form and create within Himself. I hesitate not to tell you that any patriarch in the Old Testament, like when Isaac was formed in Sarah's womb, it wasn't nothing that Abraham done. It was all God. And that's the same way He done with Mary with Jesus. Mary and Joseph had nothing to do with that. They had nothing whatsoever to do with that. Flesh cannot produce the kingdom of God. It takes the Spirit of God to raise up in the dark places, even in the dark places. Because, see, your earth, just like mine, it was dark and void at one time. And then God spoke forth light in it. He spoke forth Himself within that seed. He impregnated humanity with Himself. And in due time, even the worst of creatures, are the ugliest of all creation, they hold something of a beauty inside them. It's kind of like the beast birthing a beauty inside of it. A lot of people don't. We look to the outside, and we'll never see that man, Jesus in flesh. You've got to look beyond that and see the Christ. The only way to see the Christ of the kingdom of God is to see it within. And your eyes must be opened, that your spiritual eyes, and your hearing. Your spirit man must be open to that. Your natural man will never receive that of God. And those that are waiting on something natural, if you can't see it, you won't believe it. You're just going to miss it all the way around. You spend your whole life and you never see the kingdom of God. You never see God where He is in humanity. They don't see this gospel of God in man. It's like a thief on the cross. God was creating Himself something within that man. And it was by His Spirit that He drew that man. It wasn't because that man come to acknowledge that flesh man hanging next to him. It's because he saw something in the Spirit. Through the death process do we see the spiritual things. We must die to these outward appearances and our outward thinking. Just like the book of Revelation, it is not a book of gloom and doom about countries fighting each other. It's about a spiritual battle going on within inside of you to cause you must have Armageddon to cause you to birth the Christ. That's the only way you can do it, through tribulation. There's some that says, "Oh, if you've been saved, you'll never see tribulation." We're not meant to see tribulation. They don't understand the things that be of God, the deep things, because without them birthing pains, you'll never birth nothing, and you're never going to birth it in your flesh anyway. It must be in the Spirit and by the Spirit and through the Spirit, lest any man should boast. No man can boast when he's been truly awakened. That's what 11:11 means anyway. It means to be awakened. There's an awakening taking place of the soul and of the spirit, the twin flame. It's becoming as one flame now. I'll talk more about this a little later on. God bless you today. Have a blessed day. and be awakened in your spirit to see this beautiful birth that you're fixing to birth. You're fixing to manifest something, creation. Hang in there. You're fixing to create something that you never thought about. You and God. God's creating something in you, and He's going to bring it to surface for the whole world to see it. The world will see it, but they'll see it by spirit.